Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And joining me today is LaWana Mayfield. Welcome.
Thank you so very much.
How are you?
Things are going well here in Charlotte. We are in the middle of early voting. It is going on.
Oh, awesome, awesome. That is great. So, we want to kick this off as we do here on the Team Racing channel with having you introduce yourself to our audience and letting them know a little bit about you, your background and experience. So, please start us off.
Thank you so much. I am LaWana Mayfield. I am a candidate for Charlotte City Council running for an at-large seat. Have volunteered in this community for over 30 years, working on issues around housing, accessibility, equity, as well as supporting small businesses and highlighting and promoting. And I actually served City Council for 8 years as a district representative back in 2011 to
Mm.
2019, where I was our city's only second Black female to be elected to office, and I was our first openly LGBTQI elected official.
Amazing, amazing. That is so amazing. So, now you're throwing your hat in the ring for this race. And tell me why do you want to what was it about this moment, this election cycle that you thought that it was the perfect moment for you to, represent the people in your city, in a more tangible way by being on the city council, representing for the at large?
Right. So actually, again, I served for 8 years and I
Mm-hmm.
ran in 2019. We have four at-large seats. I came in fifth. So I took that as a sign to take a break. And unfortunately, the pandemic happened,
Mm-hmm.
the high rising cost of housing, because you have outside investors that are coming in and purchasing
Mm-hmm.
practically entire neighborhoods. You're not seeing wages keep up with the cost of living. So there's a lot of challenges that have come forward in this last 2 years that one, you couldn't have anticipated, but mainly for me, there were some projects that I created and that I led: a housing program in Charlotte, TLC by CLT, a app on the phone, CLT Plus, to help people navigate opposed to calling 311 and sitting online for 30, 40 plus minutes, but also some very specific ideas and goals around housing accessibility and affordability and how we support specifically minority and Black owned small businesses that didn't continue when I was no longer in office. So I'm coming back based on a lot of requests from neighborhood leaders and community residents that have missed having a voice at the dais that actually puts community first and recognize we want to grow and we want to be a city that's developing, but not to the detriment of the residents.
Certainly, certainly. And I like that you touched on those points there because I'm sure everyone would love to know some of those issues or challenges that, you're passionate about that you would love to tackle, as a member of the council.
So we need to change the conversation a little bit when people say, well, there's no affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to push back. I'm not a fan of the language of affordable housing because it's very subjective. Your level of affordability is not necessarily mine. The city of Charlotte is affordable for a number of people, but for our working class, working poor neighbors, it's not. So if you're paying over $1,400 a month for a one bedroom or for a micro unit, you're not in a position to be able to purchase a home because the interest rates are getting higher and higher. The housing stock is being reduced. What happens to you? And if wages aren't being increased to keep up with this cost of living, then what happens? So for local government, we only have control over the pay of our city employees. Back years ago, when I was on council serving, we instituted pay increases where we were looking at beyond $15 an hour by the time we came to 2022. Somewhere along the line, that focus was redirected. Most recently, the current city council did approve Well, we're looking to approve a budget. The budget does have a recommendation of $20 across the board minimum. But that's something that was started years ago when I was on council, that had we stayed on track, we would have already hit those numbers. So the biggest piece is for people to be engaged enough to understand exactly what is the role of your elected official locally and how important it is to vote in the primaries, because the primaries is when you actually have a choice on the ballot between all the candidates that are out there. And the beauty of Charlotte is right now, all 6 of the candidates that are on the ballot for these 4 seats are either former electeds or incumbents. So we have a voting record that you can actually go to see what did we do while we were there versus whatever promises that are being made on the campaign trail today for what I would do tomorrow. What did your yesterday vote? How did that impact how we're living and attempting to thrive today?
Yeah, certainly, certainly. Well, let everyone know why you are the best choice, come this election, why you are the best choice.
So there are 4 choices on the ballot, and I would say I am wanting, and I believe that I am wanting the best candidates for your vote for council at large, because again, I have a proven track record. As the District 3 representative, when I served the airport side of my district, I hosted an annual District 3 airport job fair that ran 7 of the 8 years that I was there. I created the housing program that went in to specifically help our neighbors who are working class, working poor, to get repairs done on their homes for them to truly age in place. Aging in place to me is not just for the elders. If you're that young person who purchased your home, you want to grow in your home and you don't want to be priced out because of the impact of taxes and other impacts outside of you that government has control over. Also, I'm asking for your vote because I have a proven track record of showing up. I stayed accessible to the community. I hosted quarterly town hall meetings because I understood that 1 or 2 meetings a year was not going to reach all of the residents we needed to reach. And as an at-large member, I will be expanding my town halls to actually utilize our neighborhood presidents and our community leaders for them to help bring their neighbors to the table, for me to bring the resources that they are looking for, and to help educate them on the process of maneuvering through local government. Our job is the job of public service. And sometimes some elected officials get in office and they forget that we are there as public servants. I never forgot my charge to the community. And even over these last few years that I haven't been in office, I went right back to my volunteering work in the community because I love my city.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as you pointed out, as we started this, early voting has begun. Early voting certainly has begun. And when is the actual date of the election?
So you have all of this week. The polls, we have 17 early voting locations here in Charlotte. The locations for Charlotte, out of the 17, we are open every morning from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. until this Saturday. And on Tuesday, next Tuesday, May 17th, that is election day. On election day, you must go to the voting location that your address is registered to. But for this week, today until Saturday, you can walk into any of the 17 early voting locations. You are able to register if you recently moved to the city or if you've recently moved to a new address. You are able to register and vote at the same time, as long as you go between today and Saturday. On election day, Tuesday the 17th, you can only go in and vote at your registered voting location, which you can identify at www.mecboe for Board of Elections.org. You can type in your address, look at your sample ballot, see where you would need to vote. But I really encourage everyone, get out and vote early. It is literally 5 minutes to go in, have them pull up your information. You get a chance to vote, you receive a receipt of your vote, and you can go on and enjoy the rest of your day.
Certainly, certainly. Thanks so much for that. And if you want to check your voter registration status, you want to pledge to vote and register to vote, you can go to headcount.org to check your status, pledge to vote, and register to vote. We are already in the season. It's starting off, it's kicked off, So LaWana, how can people find out more about you, find out more about your campaign, follow you, keep up with what you're doing, and donate and support if they want?
Yes, I need all of it. If there's anyone out there that has an hour or two where they can volunteer at one of the early voting locations this week and or on election day, please reach out to me. My website is real simple. It's www.votelawanamayfield.com. That's LAWANA Mayfield.com. You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook. On Facebook, it's Mayfield for Council at Large. You can follow me on Instagram. It's backwards, Mayfield LaWana on Instagram. I'm on Twitter for now, as we see who's going to end up owning Twitter to make sure that our voices are not being suppressed. But the biggest piece is making sure that each of you identify your immediate family, your friends, to go out and vote. We are seeing so many moving targets on the national level, on the congressional level. Your everyday impact is in these local elections. These primaries are when you have your choice. Because once we get to the general election, it is just the top four or the top Democrat versus the top Republican. But your choice selection is right now. We need you to go out and vote because it is our judges, it is your mayor, it is your city council, it is your county commission. All of these individuals are on your ballot right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. You're going to be voting for U.S. Congress, for U.S. Senate. We have the chance to elect our first African-American and first African-American female to the U.S. Senate for North Carolina. We have got to get out and vote, and you need to vote the entire ballot. And you can get a sample ballot. You can pull that up online at mecboe.org.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for all that information, LaWana. And we're going to have the link to your website, of course, in the description below. So our audience can go ahead and check that out. LaWana, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure getting to talk with you. And I wish you the best of luck on your campaign.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I wish you continued success as you continue to grow in this space and build your audience and educate the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will take that with me today. You've made my day. Thanks so much. Those watching, please follow Team Racine Productions at Team Racine on all forms of social media. Click around the YouTube channel and check out our interviews, vlogs, forums, and more. And make sure you check out that Election 2022 playlist where we have interviews with all the candidates, not just locally, but also nationally. So check that out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.